続きやで。
アウルベアと対話をもって平和的解決に至った直後に、アウルベアの目を盗んで卵をかっぱらったところからですね。
ひでえことしやがる。
ゴブリンの野営地に向かう前にもうちょっと周辺を探索しようと思い、まずは、フィルの旧敵でもあるカーラックの元へ向かうところです。
お、犬がおるで。
Keep moving, stranger. Quietly.
ああ、この犬ツイッターで見ましたね。ペットにできたはずです
I
よ。
told you to go.
ほほ。
さすがに威圧はしない方がいいんじゃないでしょうか。
せやな。優しく説得するで。
There's death in your scent, but not in your words. Still, you should go. My friend is injured. He needs rest.
飼い主の死を理解できていないようです。
Of course he will. And then we'll return home.
中堅やな。
なんとかしてあげたいところですが。
He calls me Scratch. You can do the same. We were attacked. Cackling, furry things on two legs. And their smell, it was strange, rotten, evil.
You know the creatures he describes. Gnolls.
ノールは、ハイエナの頭を持った二足歩行のモンスターですね。コボルトやオークと同じ枠組みで扱われることが多いです。
No, I won't leave him.
植えてええんかな。
下手に現実を突きつけても悲しむだけなのではないでしょうか。
これでよかったんやろか。
きっと、この子にはしばらく時間が必要なんでしょう。
そろそろ目的地のあたりまで来たで。
一旦ゲイルを外してウィルを同行させています。
なんか鍵拾ったんやけど。
あの建物でしょうか。
料金徴収員？
関所みたいなものなんですかね。それにしては小屋にしか見えませんが。
Killed a few giant bats in my day, Astarian, but never hunted a vampire.
Just to remind you, I'm merely a spawn. It won't count. But if you want a
Need any supplies? We've fewer mouths to feed now.
何かに襲われたっぽいな。
Two. Both stalwarts of Tyr, sworn to uphold justice.
ティアは、この世界の神の一人で、
The
法
Lord
と
of
正義を
Justice
司
sent
って
us
いるみ
after
た
a
いですね
devil。haunting this area. We squared off against her. We lost. Talk to Anders if you want the details. I don't have it in me to recount the horror.
Who's there? Please, keep your distance. You're welcome to shelter here, but we've grave injuries to tend to.
何に襲われたんや？
A devil, the most deadly foe we've yet encountered. We are paladins of Tyr, Lord of Justice. He sent us after an infernal being, straight out of the Nine Hells, hiding in the form of a one-horned tiefling.
One horn? Then you mean Karlach, Archdevil's bootlicker.
You know her, which means you know what the Fiend is capable of. She slaughtered countless refugees fleeing the Absolute. Yesterday, she butchered an entire family without mercy. We were lucky to survive our encounter with her.
カーラックに襲われ、ここまで逃げ込んできたとのことなん
She
です
ran
が、
toward the river when she
で
saw
も
we were merely
ガーラックっ
wounded.
てプレイヤブルキャラなんやろ？
Down the hill
そうなん
from
ですよ
here.
ね。なので、
She
何
must
か
pay
事情
for
があ
her
るんじゃないか
crimes.
なと。
If you capture her, you will have served Tyr where we could not.
This is the sword of justice, blessed by Tyr. I've wielded it since I swore my oath.
It's all I have, but it's yours if you stop her.
おう、
Bring me her
武器が
head,
もらえるみたいや。
and Tyr will consider her crimes repaid.
それじゃあ、とりあえずここは適当に合わせておきましょうか。
May the just God guide you.
ガーラックは 川の方に向かったって言ってたな。
めっちゃ近くにいました。
多分上から見えてるやろ。
One horn, the stink of Avernus, advocatus diaboli.
Well, I'll be God's damned. The Blade of Frontiers. Thought I'd shaken you for good. That'll teach me to underestimate you.
辺境の刃、有名やったんや。
てっきり自称なのかと。
Bloody right. An honor to be chased by the Blade of Frontiers, but I...
A great heat roars through you. Her heat, fiery as the hells. Then you're lost in visions of demonic armies.
何その動き。
Through a landscape of fire and blood, the blood war. You saw it from above as the Nautiloid passed through Avernus. This woman was on the front line.
What was that?
Evidence. Proof that you're a devil. A gladiator in the archdevil Zariel's army.
I can explain, but it's a whole situation. If you just hear me out...
Another vision. Karlach's blade raised, slicing through devils, Zariel's servants, as her eyes dart around, seeking escape. Her rage and desperation seep into you. She's a victim of the blood war, not an agent of it.
She's trying to trick us. Don't believe her lies.
You saw the truth. I never wanted to serve Zariel. I was enlisted in her army against my will. Forced to fight, and fight I did. When I saw an opportunity to get away, I took it. Finally home. Near it anyway.
You served her. That's enough to damn you.
ナレーションさんがめっちゃ正解に誘導してくれてますね。
Will catches his breath and his lips straighten. Sheer dread twists his face.
You don't know what you're saying. You're asking me to trust a devil.
ソードコーストというのは、今いる場所の地域名ですね。ソードコースト地方の港町の名前が、タイトルにもなっているバルダーズゲートになります。
You know monsters, right? Better than anyone.
なぜかウィルの好感度まで上がった
Look into
で。
my eyes. Can't you see I'm not what you think?
Shit. You really are no devil, are you? I've been deceived.
いや素直すぎるやろ。
Thank the gods. Thought I was gonna have to take your head.
You would have died in the attempt. But there have been enough threats today.
Truce then, eh?
Aye. Truce.
あんなにやる気満々だったのに。
But you already knew that.
で、和解したカーラックから、さっきの連中こそがアークデビューのザリエルの手先だと伝えられ、一緒にぶっ倒そうということになりました。
あの剣も奪えそうやな。
じゃあ、確実に戦闘になるでしょうし、何やらウィルが何かありそうなので、一旦野営をすることにしましょう。
Hellsfire. She's coming.
Well, you've been naughty. And you know what happens when you're naughty.
Gods damn it. Anyone but her.
和製ゲームなら絶対エロいお姉さんやったのに。
ここでおばさんにするあたりはやっぱり洋芸って感じですね。
Why, if I had a warm heart, I'm sure it would be skipping. Call me Mizora. I'm Will's patron, the fount of his power. My pet's been unruly, and his leash needs a yank.
ウィルは悪魔と契約してるんか。
何か事情がありそうですが。
But Karlach's still breathing.
I've taken more pleasant shits than you, Mizora. And at least those can be buried after.
カーラックも顔見知りなんや。
That's no kind of talk
世間は
for a
狭い。
lady. By the way, Karlach, Zariel sends her regards.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark.
Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless. Karlach meets the criteria, pet. Trust me.
力を求めたウィルは、言葉巧みにデビルであるミゾーラと契約してしまったんですね。
オリキャラたちは設定盛られてて面白いな。
The point? Oh yes. Thanks for the reminder.
Will burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
ああ、角が。
ちゃんと約巻読まへんから。
That's better.
What the hells have you done?
A promise broken, a price paid. You know the terms.
Get used to the new form, pet. There's no going back. Some magic even I can't undo. Now, let's see how the frontiers fare without their precious blade.
Karlach, keep an eye on him, would you? I'll be keeping mine on you.
Oh, and Will, don't forget, our pact still stands. Ta-ta.
God's damn her straight back to the hells. Just look at me. I did what was right, and Mazora made me pay for it. I'd be hunting devils and demons, she said. Traitors and hypocrites, heartless evils of all sorts, but not Zariel's victims. Not innocent tieflings.
いやどう見たってミゾーラがデビルに見えるやろ。
契約した時には姿を変えていたとか？それにしたってそんな怪しいものに手を出すのもどうかと思いますが。
I'll say what I can, but it won't be enough. It's Mazora who grants me the power to conjure armor and cast eldritch blasts. Before I was infected, I could even call hell beasts and summon festering clouds. But I promise you, every thrust of my blade and every flame I sparked was for the good of the coast.
こいついいやつだけどバカなんじゃ。
そんな率直に言うのや
I
めてあげて。
can't utter the terms or circumstances of the pact. I can tell you most all else, but the pact, I'm forbidden, unless Mazora permits it. But I'll say this. The moment I pacted myself to Mazora, I have not regretted for a heartbeat. It was my proudest deed. It was worth the sacrifice. All I can give you on that is my solemn word.
本人そんな気にしてへんみたいやな。
じゃあまあ別にいいんじゃないでしょうかね。その後、一夜明けると、例の犬、スクラッチくんが野営地にやってきていました。
あ、動物会話切れてるな。
それを見越して、ウィルに、動物会話のスペルを習得させておきましたよ。
魔法の詠唱の仕方の癖が強い。
Hope you're keeping well, friend. Master. Friend. I stayed with him until I knew he was gone. I'll never forget him. But I'm glad to have met you.
めっちゃいい笑顔。